that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Save them, Mommy, save them. Save your babies from that evil human. I'm gonna leave the babies alone. How you guys doing today? I was reading an article. It's a couple days old now, but I was reading an article that said that Europe is going through the worst drought it has seen in 500 years. Okay, and it's caused by climate change. You know what? You're right. It is caused by climate change. But not the version that you're trying to tell everybody. Let me try and explain things to you. Okay? The Earth rotates on an axis. And that axis wobbles between 10 and 24 degrees. Somewhere in that ballpark. I might be extreming it a little bit. But currently, we are at the extreme end of the axis tilt. And that's at 23.4 degrees. That means during summer, the northern hemisphere is directly facing the sun. Okay? It's not, slightly off-kiltered like it normally is. It's directly facing the sun. Okay, keep that in mind as I go into what I'm about to tell you. You see, I spoke before about the solar events going on, the solar cycles that we're in right now. We're in solar cycle 25. Well, I did some counting back. You see, the last drought that they're referring to happened in 1540. And Europe basically dried up all its rivers and became just drought stricken, and a couple million people died because we didn't have the global. I got to be careful here. I'm trying to keep the camera down so people don't get in camera. Anyway, so I think there was 5 million people died, something like that, in 1540 due to the droughts across Europe where all the rivers dried up. And then when I did the math and I counted backwards, 11 years, good cycle. 11 years, bad cycle. 11 years, good cycle. And I counted it all the way back. And you know what I discovered? That drought, that happened right in the middle of a bad cycle. You see, cycle 25 started in 2019. Okay? December of 2019. 2020, basically. And it persisted for 11 years. And right dead center in the middle of it, Europe dried up. All the rivers dried up. Snowfall was low. Everything was pretty dire. Well, actually it was pretty dire for a couple million people. And that's where we are today. We're seeing the same cycle happen again. But you see, Europe's not the only one that's going to fry. You see, the world spins on that axis. So that means North America is going to suffer too, right? So how come we're not seeing it? Well, I did a count back even further. Well, not quite further. I mean, I did another count back to another major drought event in North America. We call it the 1930s Dust Bowl. Yes. Happened between 1930 and 1936. It's a mega drought, they called it. And you see, that mega drought, guess what we were in at the time? Solar cycle started. Bad solar cycle started in 1930. So I may be talking in coincidences, and I may be creating a conspiracy theory, and I may be crazy. I ain't no scientist, but I can look at data and discover the truth. And that sun is beautiful out there. Welcome to the Fringe.